Hello students, it is summary time. So I'm going to guide you through writing a summary. Now, you don't always have to do it exactly like this, but it's just going to give you some ideas on how to do this. First, if you have not read one of the choices on the assignment page, please stop and read it first. So you can read Banning Plastic Bags, you can read Pecan Pioneer, you can read any of the 1619 project, you can read any of the opinion pieces from my Twitter as long as you check with me, but I need you to make sure that you have read first. So here's some discussion questions you might just want to think about. What does the I say of the piece that you read? What is the author really trying to say? What are the points, like the they say points that they put into there so that you know what their main points are? Again, what are the three main points of the article and where can you find those three main points? So that's just something to think about. You can think about that yourself. Now we are going to write a summary step by step. Get ready. I am going to help you and guide you down this summary. So one of the things that you need to have in a summary is you need to tell me the name of the author, the name of the article, right? And that's in quotation marks if it's an article, and then the name of the source. Sometimes it just depends on if you're going to use it, and that needs to be in italics, okay? You must do this or it is not a summary. So we need to know where you are getting this from. Now, you can kind of have a hook and then this can be your second sentence. It's really up to you. But for this case, I'm just going to use it as my first sentence. If you look below here, here is a little sample or template that I made for you so that you know how to write this. It says in the article, right? The name of the article in quotation marks, by the author, originally published in, and then the source. The author, then you're going to want to use some kind of strong verb. Then you're going to want to go with the main idea of the author. Okay, so whatever that main idea is, that's where you kind of want to go first. On this next page, I have a bunch of different verbs. This verb list is actually from They Say, I Say, but I also have other verb lists on the summary page. All the different kinds of verbs and things you might want to say. The author argues. The author advocates. The author acknowledges. So you don't just say the author says. Okay, so you now see the template here for that sort of first sentence, and I'm going to show you an example that I made here. So here is Taya Miles, Pecan Pioneer, the first sentence. It says, Taya Miles, in the article, Pecan Pioneer, the enslaved man who cultivated the South's favorite nut, originally published as part of the 1619 project, acknowledges the contributions of many African Americans to the United States, such as an enslaved person and horticulturalist named Antoine. Right, so there's kind of that main idea, right? It gives us the background, where it came from, the source, the author, and then gives us the overall general idea of the article. Now it is your turn. Now that you have come up with that first initial sentence that really provides the background for the summary, it's time for you to develop this summary. You want to come up with about 3 or 4 main points from the article, and do not include really tiny details. Here is a little template that you can use that was from They Say, I Say, and I also kind of rewrote it a little bit on the other sheet, so you'll see that in a second. So X and Y could be anything. It could be even one single author, right? In their article, right, so the name, argue that, what is it? Their research, which demonstrates, right, what does the research demonstrate? Challenges the idea that, right, they use, what do they use to show the example? X and Y's argument speaks to what about the larger issue? So it kind of gives you that general summary. So this is one that I wrote, a template, and I'm actually going to take this template and I'm going to use Pecan Pioneer and show you how to write a summary from this template. So it says, in the author, or in so-and-so's article, some kind of verb, right? That they focus on this idea and they make this clear and they conclude with, so you kind of get those ideas. Basically, anybody who reads the summary should have a general idea of what that article, that whatever it is that you're summarizing, is all about. So here is that summary template that I wrote. It's on the slides, and I'm going to go ahead and go down, and I'm going to show you what that looked like for the exam. So here we go. In the article, Pecan Pioneer, the enslaved man who cultivated the South's favorite nut, originally published as a part of the 1619 Project, acknowledges the contributions of many African Americans to the United States, such as an enslaved person and horticulturalist named Antoine. For some time, pecans have been a delicious part of Southern cuisine. According to the author, indigenous people have gathered and harvested from pecan trees for centuries. However, cultivating and growing pecans for commercial use proved elusive throughout most of the 19th century. The difficult task of cultivating a variety of pecan tree that would flourish and make money was handed over to a slave named Antoine. Whites had encountered these trees and tried to cultivate them, but failed. With Antoine in charge of grafting the trees not only survived, but thrived. By the 1870s, the nuts were being exhibited in the World's Fair, but no one mentioned Antoine and his patience, persistence, and gift for horticulture. The author leaves the reader to wonder how many more histories like Antoine's have been lost to time or claimed by white people. All right, so you kind of have an idea how you can use the template, kind of mix it, remix it a little bit, and then make it your own. One of the things I really want to emphasize, though, is how many times I say things like according to the author, or I refer back to the reading, because this is not your idea. This is an unbiased summary of someone else's ideas. Now, when I say unbiased, like you probably read in the page on summaries, you do want to kind of tweak it to what the things are that you want to talk about and say, but it still needs to be true to what the author said. With that, I am hoping that that made a lot of sense to you guys. So what do you do now? Add your summary to the peer review discussion. Okay, and so you're going to do peer review discussion on there. And after that, thank you very much. Thanks for watching, and I will see you online.